The use of flock cameras for police surveillance likely won't be going away, even in municipalities making recent decisions to stop using them.
That's according to the leader of Wisconsin's largest police union. We spoke today about why that is and some of the changes that might be necessary to address growing concerns over privacy.
For many in law enforcement, the use of flock cameras continues to be a valuable tool, whether it's being able to read a license plate number or verify a suspect's alibi. The cameras have put people behind bars. But with concerns growing that the cameras can be wrongly used, several area communities have seen pushback. It's a question we posed to the executive director of the Wisconsin Professional Police Association.
Are you surprised by how many agencies have kind of reversed their decision, reversed course on these cameras just recently?
I am, and it is a little bit troubling. I anticipate, frankly, that within the next 5 years, a lot of these communities will have added a similar technology, perhaps under a different brand name.
The controversy over flock flaring up just last week when Appleton announced the cameras would go away. And in April, the Oshkosh City Council rescinded a contract they had recently renewed with flock. During that meeting, people on both sides spoke out.
AI surveillance technology they're selling is so new that governments have not yet had time to regulate it.
Removing this resource would only increase the likelihood that dangerous individuals could enter or remain in Oshkosh undetected.
While Palmer doesn't believe the technology itself is going away, he does support safeguards. This includes regular system audits and making sure searches require an active case file.
If a law enforcement officer uses that improperly, that is going to be a problem. That's going to probably end a career. But in addition to retaining, they can also retain the information for a limited time period, having really restricted retention periods. And then I think lastly, prohibiting, the sharing with third parties.
In Menasha, a former police officer is facing charges for misconduct. 31-year-old Krista Morales is accused of using the flock camera system in October 2025 to conduct 7 searches to track vehicles not related to an investigation.
It's estimated more than 200 communities across Wisconsin use flock safety automated license plate reader cameras. This includes Green Bay.